it's how you deliver to the younger generation. They get all their information here. We spend almost 40% of our total budget, workforce CTE budget, on social media, pushing out the careers and the pathways.
Gentleman's time is up.
And so keep that in mind.
Gentleman yields back. I now recognize Mr. Meuser from the great state of Pennsylvania for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you to our witnesses very much. Dr. Ganuski, nice to see you. I know that ride very well that you took on the way down here, and I'm also not surprised at all to hear how Congressman Bresnahan was very supportive as he works real hard for the district, of course, for the long term and the short term. So that's outstanding work. Good to hear. Career and technical schools, we all get it as far as their importance. All you got to do is walk in one and see a young man, a young lady whom might have their head on the desk in a traditional schooling and now has got a bounce in their step. They're taking care of business. They love what they're doing. It's fantastic. I love seeing it in the high schools, in the public schools, and then in the CTEs themselves. We fortunately in my district, right outside of Congressman Bresnahan's district, have some great CTE schools. Pentech, for instance, Schuylkill County Technical Center, Northumberland County, Lebanon County Technical Center. We have some great ones. Columbia Montour, Berks County, Luzerne County Community College has an outstanding program. Yet they're jammed, and they could be more expansive, and the funding is not there necessarily for the capacity. And let's face it as well, the apparatuses and machines that they use is not always available because they need the latest things in order to develop the skills at the right level. So it's great how you integrate with, it's really a training ground for a lot of businesses. So I know that's a big piece of it. Another big piece of it, of course, is in 2019, our friend from Pennsylvania, actually G.T. Thompson, had a lot to do with the Perkins grants being expanded. So that's very, very important and very meaningful. Last year, Pennsylvania got $50 million. I'd like to see that be a lot more than that, double if not triple. And as well, the Pell Grants under the BBB, as I think you know, the Pell Grants were expanded from not just a long-term, but short-term. So really, I mean, I got a list of questions here, but I'd really just like to hear from you all. What else do we need to do to help improve, expand, provide the right equipment to the schools that you are all doing such a great job and dedicated to developing? I'll start with you, Dr. Ganuski.
Yeah, I would just say, I think a targeted infrastructure funding model of some kind where when you look around the country and you assess the CTCs that are successful that have 600 kids on a waiting list, which, as I mentioned in my opening at Monroe County, is sad. I mean, that is something that certainly needs to be addressed. So I think a targeted funding structure would be great. I also think, and you had mentioned Perkins, and I can't agree more, that is something that certainly supports our funding and for career and tech education, but in an indirect way, so doesn't the other funding models that we have, including title funding, special ed funding under IDEA. We have a number of special needs students who participate in our career and tech ed programs and are able to work and live independently because of those programs. And so I think identifying all of those sources and just taking a look and seeing if there's anything else where they could be supported would be helpful to our programs.
It's good. You mix a little bit of business administration into that towards the end of the.
My business administrator will be happy. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Good. Mr. Gibson.
Congressman, I will tell you, obviously increasing Perkins funds is one thing, but reaching out and working with trade associations, the reason for that is we can then reach out to our manufacturer reps and suppliers to donate materials. We've got programs in the high schools and community colleges where we'll get a sheet metal subcontractor to donate a sheet metal brake, which costs about $150,000 to $200,000 a piece. Right. But if they see that school is committed to CTE programming, AGC can reach out to our contractors, our subcontractors and suppliers and their manufacturer reps to say, we want you to get involved. Why are they going to get involved? Why would Black & Decker donate materials to that? Because they know that those kids are going to be trained on those tools, and they're going to be on a job site, and they're going to ask that manufacturer or that company to buy those tools that they were trained on. So that public-private partnership really pays huge dividends, not just with the federal dollars and state dollars, but the private dollars that are contributed.
Maybe some sort of tax deduction for such donations is something we could work on.
I would tell you, all industries would welcome that.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Dr. Nix.
Perkins funding is amazing, and it does support programs in our district. And when you hear the dollar value at the national level, it sounds really big. But when you look at the dollar value at a local level, our Perkins allocation was just around $20,000. We have
Thank you.
100.
I'm out of time. I'm very glad you folks are in the positions you're in. Thanks for the great work you do. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, gentleman yields back. I now recognize Ms. Goodlander from the great state of New Hampshire for 5 minutes.